Hey, what's up? This is Spiral, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to effectively play Inferno as a CT in 15 minutes or less. So what I'm going to go over first is if you are trying to get deep banana control or just basic taking banana protocols. So the first person, he's going to smoke deep, and you can bounce a molly off this wall, which is what I like doing. Or what you can do is you can throw that molly and then smoke deep. Either way, it's going to be very similar. The second person, you can either just kind of wing a molly if he really wants to, if he wants to throw it fast. Winging a molly, it's not the best idea, and depending on how far you throw it, you can get your smoke caught up in an awkward angle sometimes. That actually worked out well, but sometimes it can be very awkward, giving one ways or something like that. Or you line up against the wall about right here, and you just kind of want to aim above this line of half full, kind of like in the middle of this, I don't even know what to call it, the ledge, kind of like the middle of it. Left click. And if you throw it to the right more, it'll get this corner. If you throw it to the left more, it's going to get both corners of broom. And depending on which one you throw, your teammates can run down here and take control. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to have this smoke, this molly, and this molly. And they're either going to hide in probably logs, or they're going to be in this middle section right here. So what you can do, you and your partner, you can either double nade in the middle, which is a likely spot they're going to be, or a lot of people, they're just going to hide into logs, so you can just double nade that. And they're not going to like how much nade damage you put on them. It's going to be rough. But unfortunately, enemy teams, they like using counter utility to try to take banana. So if they are simply trying to rush banana, you know, you throw this molly and whatnot. But they can simply throw that smoke. They can throw that smoke. And if they please, they can throw this this flashbang right here. It's a pop flash. And you just aim. You come right here. You aim at the top left of the window, and you jump throw. And that's gonna land about right here, and everything banana is gonna be blind. No mercy. You're just doomed if you get hit with this, and you're gonna need to fall back and whatnot. And if they're rushing through that smoke, it's gonna be a little bit of hell for you. But what you can do is a couple things. So let's say it's an eco round. They're busting through the smoke. If you want, you can have a player play sandbags if you think it's an eco. And one person can throw a flash behind them like this. And on this, you would double swing. And considering the T's would be rushing through full blind and through a smoke, it's going to be a fairly easy mop up. That's just a simple flash to do. But I do not advise playing sandbags too often, as it's easily counterable by throwing some mollies and this nade. I messed up the nade, but that molly, that's going to get you to back out or smoke yourself. You might be able to live in this corner, in which case they're going to be able to throw a half-wall flash, so you're mollied, and then they're going to throw some half-wall flash, whatever they choose to do. That's a deep one, but whatever flash they choose to do, you're going to be full blind, and most teams are going to nade this corner. And so your teammate's going to want to run away, and in that time that he's jumping away from the nade or getting hit by it, you can be isolated and easily killed. It's a very high risk, high reward spot playing sandbags, and you usually don't come out alive. But if your teammate is playing sandbags, let him take contact. Because most teams, let's say this is smoked, is on the emphasis that this is still smoked, they're probably going to run through this, and if your teammate takes contact, he can quickly hide, or you can just quickly swing out like so. At the minimum, that's a trade. You fall back to sight, it's a 4v4, and you probably have somebody rotating. Let's say one of you has an op, and you're still playing. Now, if an op is peeking B, I would recommend, if possible, you get a third player. So the first player, he has an op, he's going to do whatever. He's probably just going to throw a molly, or he's gonna throw whatever utility he wants, and he's either going to peek here, or he's going to peek here. But they can be holding with an op, or they can have people rushing up. And obviously, the opper doesn't want that. He wants to have a clean fight, he wants to get a pick, and he wants to back out. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to use this flash. It's similar to the window flash in that everything banana, they're fried. So you're going to crouch right here, and you aim in this general area. You might need to practice it, but that's how I throw it. It's gonna pop right here. They're gonna be blinded. Granted, they're not looking away or they're looking at the wall. And you can have another player. He can throw the Furious Smoke. So he's gonna come in this corner, and he's gonna aim as shown on the little antenna. What that's gonna do is that it's gonna block any molly that the T's try throwing. And what you can do is that you can take this handy op and combine with that flash. That's pretty much an easy pick every time. 4v5, you're good. And another benefit to going 3B at the start of the round is that whoever is the normal A player, instead of a B player throwing all that utility, he can throw a molly and then nade and then fall back, which means that a B player still has all the utility, and they can fight off rushes more, so you would have an extra smoke, let's say. So you can burn off over 30 seconds of time just because you had an extra smoke, or an extra 15 seconds of time because you had an extra smoke. And so T's, most of the time, they're going to be fighting really heavily for banana. They're either going to go for Brax control, Apps control, or banana control. But a lot of the time it's going to be in banana, especially in pugs, which is what this is kind of focused towards. And so they're going to be throwing this molly at the start of every round. And they're probably going to jump into this corner. Skilled players, the first spawn is always going to molly that, and they're going to jump into this corner right here. So that if you try to peek through it with an op, like let's say you want to peek like this into the molly, you're probably not going to get a pick unless some idiot is trying to cross into mid lane, and then you might get one while taking 40 damage. But that's why you're going to throw that smoke, and you're going to be able to peek over here. Or you can have a teammate do the same flash, and you can hold this if you think they're going to play a default in something like League. This is a very powerful angle, and if you sense the flash, you can easily just hop off. You can hold this angle, and then you can easily fall back to CT. And something that I really like doing is, let me get dot, what is it? Is it dot boost? Yeah. So you can get somebody to boost you, they can't be seen, and you can hold this angle. You can do this like once or twice a game, but there's nobody that's going to be able to... Nobody's free-firing that, especially if they have an op. And then you can easily fall off because you can't see the player there, but there's an opper up here. And even if you miss, you have info on where they are and whatnot. So let's say dot, no, bot. Let's go over some beginner mistakes. If you're in this corner and they come to pit, they can see you. So even if you're hiding there, they can still see you. And so you're going to get pre-fired a lot. Or they can just hop on this and you're dead. Alright, they're going to have a way easier time killing you. So what you can do though, dot no bot, is that if you come over to second oranges, you can aim. I recommend aiming a little bit to the right, because if you don't, it's going to land on top of first oranges and it's not going to blind anybody. So you aim a little bit to the right. It's going to pop over blue bin right here, and people are going to get blind. Or another flash a teammate can throw is that if you're anywhere on sight, you can aim at this pipe right here from anywhere on sight, and they're going to be full blind. Now, it's going to be a lot easier to see this flash, considering, especially from Coffin, where they can see you throw it. But depending on, let's say they throw this smoke. So you come into this corner, you aim at the top of the window, and it's going to land right there. They're not going to be able to see that flash, so that can be a very good one to throw. And then on that flash, let's say, even if there's a CT smoke there, on that flash, you're good for like 2 or 3. One minimum, but probably 2. And then you can easily dip back into the smoke, or if you have a teammate deep, they could throw one that lands towards pit, and you can run through the smoke with, let's say, a CZ or a MP9, and you're good for 1 or 2 every time. Granted, there's nobody here, or there's nobody playing anti-flash. And of course you can always play on boost. Usually whenever you play boost, you're good for 1. Same with playing some spots like top oranges. Usually you're good for 1. I personally don't play the angle because I don't play it often, and I suck at the angle. So I'm not going to play the angle. Instead, I prefer other angles like this one that Bentet made popular. So if I hit .bot, if you're swinging this, first, it's a very tough angle to pre-aim, but the bot's not doing it right, but it's very difficult to, let's say, to hit that shot, because even with how the bot is standing, you can see, about a quarter to a half of its head. They can see your full head, and even with an M4, you're just probably going to get double tapped. Let's say you want to retake banana, alright? So these are some smokes and utility that Glaive made really popular. Glaive from Astralis. So you come to this spot right here on the barrel, and you have a smoke. Don't aim too far to the left, but you want to aim with this gutter system and the wall. You want to make sure the smoke hits the wall, and then you aim bottom left of the window, and with the molly, and you're going to get something that looks like this. They cannot hide, well, they can hide in the corner, but let's say after throwing that, you can also chuck a flash high, or if you have a third person, they can throw this flash. Now, you can throw this flash to retake banana. At any time, Fallen made it really popular. Come to coffin, and you aim in the middle of this antenna. Left click throw. And it's going to pop right here. Anybody who's there is blind. So if you're playing a 3B setup and you want to retake it, have somebody throw the 2 nades here, flash over, and then this dude is caught in no man's land. He's, unless you get 1 tapped from a fully blind player with an AK, this dude's dead, and probably this dude as well. Because you're going to be mollied right here, and this is going to be smoked. So nobody from Deep Banana is going to be able to trade you effectively unless they fire through the smoke. Okay? And there's also one more nade that you can keep in mind. So you stand on top of second oranges, and you can aim at the top of the second lip right here. And it's going to just absolutely destroy people. So you can have somebody flash from there along with the 2 nades that you throw. And then you can hop over here and just line it up real quick. I messed it up because I lined it up quick, but if you line it up right, then anybody who's here is going to be absolutely blasted. And you can even do it late round without the utility if you just flash. Like that. So that was playing CT Inferno effectively. I hope everybody that was watching this learned something, and I hope you have a wonderful day.